European exploration and colonization. That's your QTD. The standard is here. First, you got to know what colonization and what do we say? I don't know. Exploration means. Exploration, pretty self-explanatory. It means to explore, and we know that the Europeans were doing it. And we know that this word colonization means that you send people from the mother country to go live in another country or another piece of property that you want to own for yourself. So if I were to say, let's colonize Mars, that would be that I would send people from the United States and I would send them to Mars to live, and then Mars would become part of America's empire. That's what colonization means. Well, the Europeans actually did this. The Mars example is far out, but this is actually part of history. This actually happened. Now, what you have is, and I'm going to try to get my map of the world, and I apologize because my map's not so great. It's just the screensaver on my computer. The best I can do right now. But anyway, you see that this is a map of Africa. And then here would be Europe, and then over here somewhere is Asia. And what the Europeans were trying to do is they were trying to go from Europe to Asia. But if you know anything about geography, if you're a European, say in Spain or Portugal over here on the Iberian Peninsula, it would be a very, very long way and a very expensive way to go across land. Even if you got into a boat and sailed across the Mediterranean Sea, then you're faced with a desert you've got to cross before you get to Asia. The reason the Europeans wanted to go to Asia is because the Asians had things that the Europeans did not have, such as spices and silk and all kinds of things. That's why the Silk Road gets its name. It's the old Silk Road because a lot of silk would travel back and forth actually from Asia to Europe on that road. The Spanish and the Portuguese really didn't like this. They did not like going over the road. They did not like going through the Mediterranean Sea. They knew that Africa was down here because they're right there. They knew it was there. But they thought it was only about this big. And so this guy, his name is Prince Henry the Navigator, decides one day that he wants to go find out a way around Africa because he figures it's going to be quicker and less expensive than going over land. What he did not know is that all of this was down here. Okay, and Prince Henry the Navigator, of course, was a Portuguese prince. He started something called the School of Navigation. And from that school of navigation, sailors learned the seas. They learned how to make maps better. They learned how to build compasses. They learned how to do all sorts of things. Prince Henry never ever actually set foot in a ship that I can tell. He may have, but he was not really a navigator. He was more of the sponsor of the school. And from 1415 all the way until about 1492, people were trying to get around Africa. Why? To find a better trade route. It had to do with money. They wanted money. They wanted the stuff that was over there, the natural resources, and they wanted to be able to get it faster than everybody else and cheaper than everybody else. And the way around Africa was to do that. The Spanish accidentally found Columbus is trying to sail around the world, and he accidentally bumps into America on his way around the world. Well, when he figures out there's America over there, he freaks out because he's not in India, but he's in some place that, in his estimation, was a lot richer than India and had a lot more rich stuff than India did. And so he sent word back to Spain, a couple of more trips back and forth from Spain, and then before you know it, the Spanish have started to colonize Latin America. And so begins Europeans' colonization of the world. So they're exploring. Why? Because they're trying to figure out a different way around Africa. They're colonizing. Why? For the natural resources that were on the land that they colonized. It was going to engorge the Europeans and make them very, very rich kingdoms and empires. And they knew that. And so this period, from the 1400s all the way until, I don't know, the late 1800s, really turned the tide of history in the Europeans' favor. Thank you.